Good morning, guys. Time for another video. I hope everybody had a good weekend. I know it was MLK Day yesterday. Some of you were off, some of you had to work. I want to thank everybody for voting on the logo like I had posted. The logo basically is ours. It's not mine. It's ours, us, it's you and me, and everybody across the country. And we'll be getting some attention from deputies in Texas and NYPD, like I had said. That's all great stuff. This has to be a movement across the board. We all face the same issues. Today is a little bit more of a serious video. And again, I'm posting a lot of questions and a lot of things that are common to all of us. Some of us don't like to discuss it. I truly don't care. So I'm gonna be the voice here. And I'll put it out there, but I want you to do a lot of thinking, come up with some questions. So when I do make the video with the therapist, we have a lot of questions, but I want to put these things out there because a lot of us feel this way. I've talked to a lot of people over the years and people just don't like to admit it. And one of the things is, do you wear a mask? And it's a pretty unique question. And the answer is we have to. You know, you've heard the old cliche, we're pastors, we're counselors, we're law enforcement, I mean, all kind. Some of us deliver babies. I mean, it's crazy. But some of the masks that we wear, are we able to know when we're wearing a certain mask? And are you able to change that mask? Sometimes, right, you get to a call and you change one mask to another situation, and then you get to another situation, and now it's no longer an enforcement. Now it's a fire rescue, but they're not there yet. So you put on the mask of a lifesaver, and you take that off, and then you're amongst the public, or you have to go to a function and you have to put the happy mask, even though you're not. So, you know, what mask do you wear? What is the one that you predominantly wear? Are you able to change it? Do you know when you change it? And the problem that we face a lot of times is we get home and we still have a mask on. Who knows which mask it is? But you get home and you're not daddy mask or husband or wife mask. And the people that are at home are paying for you not knowing or not being able. And again, it's not your fault. And I'm talking here because we've all been in the same situation. But we're not able to take that mask off. I had a therapist once tell me when I was at a really bad time in my life, and I told her, and she's gonna laugh when she sees this, and I told her, you know, I think I'm going crazy. And she goes, well, that's a good thing. And I said, yeah, how do you figure? She goes, well, crazy people don't think they're going crazy. And that always stuck with me. But she always did tell me, between reality and that craziness is a very small step. And we see it all the times, you know. You see these murder-suicides, or you, and again, God forbid, I'm not talking about anybody doing this, but I'm saying you see these crazy calls, and then you interview the neighbor. He's like, oh, he's such a nice guy. He used to walk the dog, and he take the girls to softball and take the boys to karate, and one day lost his shit because, you know, he didn't throw the garbage out, like we've talked about. So I wanna ask you, do you remember? For some of the older people on here, you remember during 9/11? You remember where you were, what you were doing? You know, the real older people will tell you, well, I can tell you where I was during Pearl Harbor, and I can tell you where the first press conference for Vietnam, right? So I remember like it was yesterday, September 11, 2001, I was at Porky's Gym in the hammocks. And I had, back in the day, we had Walkmans. There was no iPod or stuff. And I remember working out, and I couldn't hear anything because I was listening to the music. But I stopped and I looked, and everybody was staring at the speaker on the wall out of the DJs on the radio station saying that we were under attack and missiles, and you know how all that started and all the rumors and stuff. So people during those traumatic incidences, they remember where they were. Do you remember where you were when Roger and Amanda were killed? I was 3 months on the department. The first time I was involved in a situation of a shootout, and we'll leave it at that. We don't get into those details, the statute of limitations and all kinds of stuff. And, you know, when you're in the academy, you're like, wow, yeah, I will do this and I'll do that. And when the real thing goes down, hey, listen, I'm no fucking badass. It's scary as shit. And so, how many 9/11s do we have in our life, right? When Evelyn Gort was killed, I was in the academy, but she was my brother's partner. And then we had Robert Calderon and Vargas and Roger and Amanda, and it goes on. Brown, we had, it's just countless. I know I'm leaving people out, but what I'm trying to say is, how many 9/11s do we have, right? And you have to put on the mask the following day and go on, right? So when you're in the academy, I remember the classes of, you know, don't congregate, and it's a gray area, and domestic call-outs and all that. So again, this is not a bashing, a department bashing, but I'll wait for you to tell me what class was there on how to deal with any of this. And how large was the learning block? How many weeks? How many hours? That's what we're asking for. We're asking for, and on top of all this happening, at the worst time in your life, you're supposed to go and say, hey, by the way, I had an issue with that. It's a very difficult thing. So there's a lot of things that need to be done. So today's video is just about that. What mask do you wear? Or are you able to determine what mask you're wearing? When was the last time you were really you? I heard some crazy video from a German psychiatrist the other day on trauma, that people that go through traumatic experiences have a hard time ever being happy again. And I was like, bro, that fucking sucks. You know? So our goal when we do interview our therapists is, how do we get happy again? Are you happy? Are you truly happy? That's what our goal is, right? And to put those 9/11s back. I went through a training, and I'll leave you with a little bit of hope. There's a thing called EMDR, eye movement desensitization reprocessing. It's a lot of mumbo jumbo stuff, but it works. It's amazing. And when I do my interview, you guys will be able to see exactly how it works. And it's crazy. If I told you the story, you'd be like, this guy's crazy. But it really works. It's awesome. And it goes directly to my interview. But I wanted to leave you with this today. What mask do you wear? Are you able to change them? Can you catch yourself? And just that, how many 9/11s can we take before we lose our shit? And again, to the utmost respect to all the families of all the fallen guys and girls. And but I recognize that we have to live with that also. And that's not fair to do this on our own. We're not gonna be on our own anymore. All right. Thank you again. And 3 AM Fog, we're here for each other. See you soon.